Hi there. In this video we will be looking at this MACLEAN ENERGY. It's an extension cord and the model is MCE204, but the most important thing for me, I don't want this to have in it any surge protection because I'm using it connected to a UPS, and UPSs do not like surge protections being plugged into them. So let's open this up. And this is where the fun begins. In theory, I already have a decent impression about this product, and I will link in the description of video with something similar, but it's white. It took me a long time to get a decent one of these with individual switches, because either the connections inside are really bad or the switches are really bad and basically self-destruct and set your house on fire. We do not want fires, do we? So this seems to be made in Poland. Hello, almost neighbors. 3 wires, 1 millimeter section, 1 square millimeter section. Not a lot, as you could see. It can only carry 2500 watts maximum for what I'm using it. That UPS cannot provide nowhere near as much, so I don't care about that limitation. And it's the variant that actually has here the ground as a pin. I do not care. My PC connections, plugs, actually allow for this. Either the standard EU variant where you have the ground, or this. So, not a problem. Satisfying click. Same with this. This has a stronger spring in it, which is to be expected because it cuts all of it. Cable itself, flexible, decent, it's good. We have a batch number on it, if you need any more info. So yes, obviously made in China. So the Poland part is only the rebranding basically, but sadly these days most things are like that, so nothing that we can do. If you want more info, I think it's this manual is valid even for a different variant, only 4 sockets, and it also has 2 USBs here in the end. I do not see anything about surge protection on this, but if you want the Romanian also, but I'm not risking anything. It was with red text on the UPS that you should not plug in any surge protection extensions into it, so I'm not taking chances. Also, I would like to see what we have inside. We have child protection on it, which is great. We have children in the house, and some safety bits in there, but let's see. I think we can override that. Yep, we can override that. Let's open this up. Okay, what do we have in here? So in here, basically nothing. I'm not going to rotate because all my screws would fall out. Everything seems soldered. Not the best solder job ever. And they kind of also hit the plastic with the soldering iron, but still looks decent. These are spot welded in here. Okay, here the solder is a bit better. Everything is hand soldered in this. But yeah, overall I don't see any immediate problems whatsoever. And obviously absolutely no kind of surge protection in this. I will take a closer look, but yeah, I think it's good. There are a few things that I'm not that happy about. You see this? Soldered. As far as I know, ground must not be soldered. It must be at least spot welded or screwed in place or something like that. Because soldering in case of overheating can come undone, and you do not want that on ground. At least that's my knowledge. These pins are pressed in here. Yes, they seem to be quite firm, but in time, who knows? Only lucky part for me is that most of these will have small chargers plug in it, so they actually don't even use ground at the end of the day, so that does not really matter. Again, the switches much better than many other that I have seen, at least the feel part of them. I do not care at this point about how much they can how much power they can let's try again. I do not care about I do not care about how much power they can transmit at this point. My goal at the moment is that they don't come undone. They say 16 amps. Nah, I don't believe that. Although, if I look at it, it is fairly big. So they are not small switches. I've seen much worse. Yes, products like this, sadly, even in the EU, they make their way in with really bad quality. Really bad quality. This, not the highest quality, but neither anyway close to worse that I have seen. So yeah, for what I need, low power devices seems to be enough. Cable seems to have at least more than 2 strands in it. So that's good. Yes, they are 1mm cables, low power. A cable like this you would actually use for a single device, and even that not with a high power draw. So yeah, it's a weak cable. But then again, I'm using chargers which draw close to nothing. I don't know, 5-10 watts, something like that. So close to nothing. This one even bigger. The switch, let me give you a bit of light in here, 20 amps. Okay. We will not see about that because I don't plan on pushing this at all. So yes, overall decent parts inside of it. Could be better, but could be much worse. It will be used. Final verdict. Let's put it back together. In here it has all kinds of pins that keep things in place. Basically that's the purpose of all of this that you can see around here, to keep things from here in place. For example, I'm expecting these ones to be pushing on this child protection in here from the back to keep it in place so it doesn't fall out, and yeah, overall stuff like that. Good enough. Good enough for my use. Do not use it on high power devices. You will regret that. I noticed this material does not seem to have extremely good elastic properties, so if you put something big in it, then it will be hard to go to something smaller because it might not grip it quite well. So yeah, think twice before putting stuff that has really thick pins for high power. Again, it's not really meant for that. Also, you can see the injection marks on this thing. Doesn't give too much confidence. But yeah, looking inside, I don't see anything necessarily dangerous directly in here. For example, this with this, yes, they might seem close, but no, they are not really that close, because this thing cannot come out of here. It cannot go closer to the other wire, simply because you can see here it's one piece that's going all around and it's soldered in here. First it's pressed and then it's also soldered. Maybe that's why they actually soldered them, to make sure they do not move from there. Also, this one cannot come closer to the other one. It has all of these pins from one end to the other, and they are both held from underneath by these things, these circles, so they cannot be pushed down. Yeah, not great, not terrible. I've seen better, but I've also seen much worse. A good thing, even though it looks bad, it's just because the plastic was touched with the soldering iron, does not do anything about its reliability. But the good thing is that it actually cuts both phase and neutral, so it's double, which is good. These ones simply have neutral here, phase here, and they give the phase from here to here, and they have also neutral because they are light up switches, which I like. Okay, so that's about it for this video. I'm going to put it to use now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, but for the moment seems okay. Let me try and plug a few things in it. No satisfying click. Nope, seems good. I can feel the child protection, so it goes hard, and then now it went out of the way, and now I'm plugging into the brass or copper, whatever that was, probably some brass. And I can feel this part being more rigid because this hole is basically latching onto this. Ooh, it's moving already. Yikes. Nice. And when I say nice, actually not nice at all. You can see it. Not a lot of play, but it does have some play. It simply made a little bit of wiggle room inside of the plastic. So yeah, I wouldn't count on the grounding too much. Kind of hate that this type of products exist around us. So if you use this thing, plug what you need to plug into it and be done with it. Do not plug unplug all day. Use this. This is why it has them. This seemed to be good quality, but the rest of it, it's a bit on the flimsier side. So I've been using this for a while. Seems to be working great. Yes, it's on the flimsy side. That's quite clear. After taking a better look at it, it's on the flimsy side. The switches, on the other hand, are better than all that I have seen up until now, I think. But the rest of it, a bit flimsy. But then again, I've seen much worse than this, so there's that. I'm not unplugging anything from it, just using switches from time to time, and I have plugged into it a monitor, a docking station, and two small adapters, a router, and another tiny display. So the consumption on this is below 100 watts, and I'm not going to plug more than this into it. So for this low consumption, and then it is plugged into a UPS, yep, absolutely no issues whatsoever. But don't try to do more than that with it, in my opinion. Although the switches could handle it, the rest of it, who knows. So that's about it for this video. Hope it helps you, in which case please give it a like, check out my other videos, and as always, see you in the next one.